Hi everyone. Today's class will discuss about the vectors which is given in the plant and animal biotechnology paper. So this is coming under paper 404 plant and animal biotechnology, and the topic what we are discussing today is about the vectors. In the syllabus, if you see in the second unit of the paper where the vectors and different gene transformation methods are given, in that three vectors are given. One is BIN19. BIN19, all of you remember what is BIN19. BIN19 we discussed under the TI plasmid. BIN19 is a binary vector which is a derivative of the TI plasmid vector. I think all of you are clear with that TI plasmid chapter. So BIN19 vector is done. Now two more vectors are left in the chapter. That is, one is P green vector, another one is known as the P blue script vector. You are familiar with both the vectors. Little here and there little changes are there. It's easy to remember. One more, this P green vector, it's a type of binary vector. Okay, so I'll just give you an idea about the binary vector. I think all of you remember that, but it is my duty to give a gist about this binary vector. All of us know that Agrobacterium tumefaciens, it is a gram-negative soil bacteria which has a plasmid known as the tumor-inducing plasmid. And naturally, this Agrobacterium tumefaciens, it can transfer the foreign DNA into the plant and transform the plant. Thereby, Agrobacterium is known as the nature's genetic engineer. All of you know that. So directly we cannot use the plasmid for the gene transformation technique. We have to modify the naturally occurring plasmid. For the modification in the sense, what are the the unwanted sites which are there in the naturally occurring TA plasmid. It has an oncogene. What is that oncogene? Which consists of cytokinin synthesizing gene, auxin synthesizing gene, and opine synthesizing gene. There is no restriction, unique restriction site. There is no selectable marker gene, and the size of the naturally occurring TA plasmid vector is very huge. So for making the gene cloning experiment easier, we need to make the plasmid vector into very small size, compatible one, and with all the necessary features. And you know what are the different features a vector should have? Vector should have an origin of replication, the size should be very small, it should have a unique restriction site, and also it should have the selectable marker gene. So BIN19 is a derivative of the naturally occurring TA plasmid. Similarly, one more type of binary vector is there, that is known as the P green vector. Okay, binary vector, all of you remember the sites which are there in the binary vector. Left and right border, in between that there is a selectable marker gene, foreign gene, and two origin of replication, one for E. coli, another one for Agrobacterium tumefaciens. Since it has two origin of replication, they are called as the shuttle vector. So whichever vector has two origin of replication, or if the vector has the ability to replicate in two different hosts, those vectors are known as the shuttle vector. That you have to remember. So in the examination, if they ask about the shuttle vector, you need to write about the binary vector, and also you can write about the P green vector, because P green vector also has two origin of replication, and whatever vector I am going to discuss after this, that also has two origin of replication. So all these are coming under the shuttle vector. Last semester also under recombinant DNA technology, we discussed in detail about the shuttle vector. So in this particular paper, if they are asking about the shuttle vector, you have to write about the three examples: BIN19, P green vector, and P blue script 2KS vector. Fine. Now, so it's a type of binary vector, and what are the different sites which are there in the binary vector? That is what we are going to see. And whenever we use binary vector alone, it cannot do the gene transformation mechanism, because, and in the case of BIN19 also, they don't have Vir genes. If the Vir gene is there, then only it can do the transformation. You know the function of the Vir gene. It will express and produces all the virulence protein. Virulence proteins will bind to the left and right border, cut it, and the gene transfer happens. And virulence protein plays a major role. So without virulence gene or virulence proteins which are expressed from the vector, the gene transfer is not possible. So it has to depend on a helper plasmid. In the case of binary vector, we will be using a helper plasmid. You know how it is used. Similarly, here when P green vectors are used, we have to use helper. The helper is known as the P soup plasmid, SOUP, soup. Okay, P green is always associated with the P soup vector, which has the virulence region, which will express and produces the virulence protein. Now, when you talk about the vector, always you have to remember the size of the vector. The size of the vector is 3927 base pair. So that is the size of this particular vector, 3927 base pair. Okay. Now, therefore it is less than 10 kb in size. That is a very important point to remember. And like binary vector, this also has binary vector or a naturally occurring Ta plasmid. It has the left and right border, 24 base pair repeated sequences are there, left border and the right border. And the region which is there in between the left and right border is known as the tDNA. Why it is called as tDNA? Because that is the transfer DNA which will be entering into the plant cell from the bacterial cell. This will be first in the bacteria, agrobacterium typification. When from agrobacterium, this move to the plant cell. When the DNA is moving, the entire plasmid is not moving. All of you know all these things. I am just telling you. The entire plasmid won't be moving. Only portion which is there between the left and right border will move to the plant cell. So the DNA which is there in between the left and right border plays a major role, because that is the only region which enters there. Now what are the different sequences which are there? One is known as a promoter, very efficient plant promoter. When you are using creating a plant vector, we have to always remember about a efficient promoter. If the promoter is efficient, gene expression level will be very high and you get more protein product. Thereby always you have to remember that you should keep a very efficient promoter. So one of the very efficient promoter which is used in most of the gene cloning vector is cauliflower mosaic virus, CAMV. CAMV stands for cauliflower mosaic virus 35S promoter, and that is followed by, this is known as a P green vector. So that means once after the transformation you can see something which is green. So here it is, it has a GFP protein. Have you heard of GFP? GFP will be discussing in detail under the selectable and scorable marker. One more chapter is there in that particular unit. So this is a type of reporter gene or a scorable marker. The protein is known as the GFP. GFP stands for green fluorescent protein. Okay, green fluorescent protein, when it enters into the host cell, you can see fluorescence in the host. So when this particular gene enters into the plant cell, you can see little fluorescence in the plant. So thereby this particular gene is known as the green fluorescent protein. So this is actually isolated from a jellyfish, Aquaria victoria. Okay, so green fluorescent protein is isolated from a jellyfish, Aquaria victoria. This will be studying in detail later. Okay, so GFP, that is a selectable marker. For time being, you just remember that it has a selectable marker which will help in the selection of transformed plant cell. The selectable marker gene is called as the GFP. What is GFP? Green fluorescent protein isolated from a jellyfish, Aquaria victoria. Okay, Aquaria victoria is the jellyfish. Now that is followed by a LAC-Z-G. So one more thing you need to remember, this is a PUC derived vector. Okay, PUC derived vector. Why it is called as PUC derived vector? Because it has some of the sequences which are similar to PUC. So PUC vector, all of you remember last semester we discussed in detail about PUC. It has a selectable marker gene called as the LAC-Z-gene. So next to GFP, it has a LAC-Z-gene with multiple cloning site. What do you mean by multiple cloning site? That is a DNA sequence with many resistant site. So these are the sequences which are there in between the left and right border. So whenever you are doing the gene cloning, you need to insert whatever resistant sites are there. You need to identify the resistant site which are there in the MCS. Use those resistant enzyme, cleave the MCS, introduce the foreign DNA, ligate the vector, and then put it into the agrobacterium tumefaciens. And from agrobacterium tumefaciens, since this helper, it has virulence gene, virulence proteins will be expressed. Virulence proteins will help in the transfer of this particular DNA into the plant cell. So which all genes will enter into the plant? CAMV35S promoter, green fluorescent protein, and the insertionally inactivated LAC-Z-G. Clear? So when this particular plasmid is there in the bacteria, you can select them by growing them in a media containing X-gal. Selection of PUC vector, if you remember, we have to prepare a media containing X-gal, and IPTG is the inducer. When you grow the cells, bacterial cells on a media containing this, you can see blue and white colonies. So when you are without inserting the foreign DNA, when this particular plasmid is there in the bacteria, you can select the bacteria by doing this blue-white selection. So by observing the blue-white colonies, you can identify that whether the bacteria has taken up this particular plasmid. Okay, so always you remember that all the gene cloning or the modification on the plasmid, everything will be done in E. coli. From E. coli, it will be by conjugation, it will be transferred into the Agrobacterium tumefaciens. Okay, after when you put this plasmid into the Agrobacterium tumefaciens, you need to check whether Agrobacterium tumefaciens has taken up this particular vector, which is the vector P green vector. For that purpose, you can use this particular selectable marker gene. By using a blue-white selection, you can select the recombinant cell. So once the recombinant cells are, once you get the Agrobacterium tumefaciens with this particular vector, you can do the gene cloning modification. How will you do the modification? You have to remove the plasmid again from Agrobacterium tumefaciens, do the restriction digestion, insert the foreign DNA, put it back into the Agrobacterium tumefaciens. Again go for blue-white selection. So when you go for blue-white selection, what will happen? This again insertionally inactivated. Okay, the lac-dash gene will get insertionally inactivated. Thereby, the colonies which are formed, whichever bacteria has taken up the vector with the foreign DNA, after the insertion of the foreign DNA in MCS, whichever bacteria has taken up the vector with the foreign DNA, they will appear which color? White color. You remember the blue-white selection, just to revise, brush up that particular topic so that you will understand. So from E. coli, first it will be in E. coli, from E. coli it will be transferred into the Agrobacterium tumefaciens. Then they select the Agrobacterium tumefaciens. Whichever colonies are blue, they select this blue colony and again isolate the plasmid by doing the plasmid isolation, and after isolating the plasmid, they insert the foreign DNA into the multiple cloning site, and then again do the transformation, put it back into the Agrobacterium tumefaciens. Now again second time they go for a selection wherein they get in the petri dish, they get white and the blue colonies. Whichever white colonies are there, they are all the cells which has taken up the vector with the foreign DNA. Now once the bacterial cell is ready, you have to, the Vir gene will express, bacterial cell will have the P soup helper plasmid also, P soup will express, virulence proteins will be synthesized, they will bind to the Vir D1 and D2 will bind to the left and right border, it cut the single stranded DNA, and Vir E protein will form a cord around it and it moves through the conjugation tube which is formed by the virulence B protein. Thereby, the single stranded DNA enters into the plant cell. Once it enters into the plant cell, you can select the plant cells by checking the fluorescence. Why? How can you select it by by checking the fluorescence? Because we can select it by checking the fluorescence because it has, we are putting the green fluorescent protein. So because of the presence of green fluorescent protein, you can check the fluorescence. If the plant is exhibiting fluorescence, that means the plants, those plants are recombinant. Okay, you can create a transgenic plant by using this particular method. Now what else? What are the other sites which are there in this particular vector? One is ampicillin resistant gene. Again, that is for when you are putting the plasmid into the E. coli cell, you can select them by using this ampicillin resistant gene. And two origin of replications are there. E. coli col-E1 origin of replication, that is for the replication of this particular vector in E. coli. So this is an E. coli origin of replication, col-E1 origin of replication. Another one is the PSA origin of replication. This is for the Agrobacterium tumefaciens. PSA is a plasmid origin of replication. So PSA origin of replication is for the Agrobacterium tumefaciens. So it has two origin of replication, thereby it is called as a shuttle vector. Clear? So this kind of vectors are called as the P green vector. Two chromogenic selectable markers are there. One is the lac-dash gene, another one is a GFP. Thereby you can see a fluorescence. Okay, so it's a you cannot call it as a chromogenic. It will emit light. Thereby it is a fluorescence emitting, green fluorescence emitting selectable marker, which is called as a reporter gene. So why it is called as a reporter gene, we will see in the next coming classes. I will be discussing in detail about the selectable marker and the scoreable marker or the reporter gene. Clear with the P green vector? So what are points you need to remember under P green vector? P green vector is a type of binary vector. It is a shuttle vector. Why it is called a shuttle vector? Because it has two selectable markers. What are the selectable marker genes? One is E. coli origin of replication, another one is the PSA origin of replication. And like any other TA derived vector, it has two border repeat, left and the right border repeat, and it has a cauliflower mosaic virus 35S promoter because that is the most efficient promoter, and green fluorescent protein. Because of that, this vector is called as the P green vector. and lac is a dash gene with the multiple cloning site. So because of the presence of this lac is a dash gene, you can select the recombinant agrobacterium to mutation. So whenever we use this particular vector, we have to depend on a helper. The helper plasmid is known as the P-soup vector, which is having a called even origin of replication, tetracycline resistant gene, and an origin of replication. Clear with the P green vector? Now we'll move on to the next vector, which is called as the P blue script 2ks. Okay. Actually, this particular plasmid is not used for plant transformation system, but still they have given in the syllabus. I have checked the recent articles also, but nowhere they are using this particular vector for plant transformation. It is generally used for transforming the bacterial cell. Okay, so if you remember in the last semester we discussed about the M13 origin of M13 different types of vectors. What is the advantage of M13 vector? So when we use an M13 vector, we can produce single stranded copies of the cloned DNA. So single stranded copies of the cloned DNA can be produced by using an M13 vector. This particular vector, P blue script 2ks, it's a phage-mid vector. What do you mean by phage-mid? Phage-mid is a hybrid vector of M13 and plasmid. Which plasmid? Plasmid is PUC vector because it has a lac dash gene, and M13 and PUC hybrid vectors are called as the phage-mid vector. Okay, cosmid vector, you remember what is cosmid? Plasmid plus cos site, or the lambda vector is called as the cosmid. M13 plus plasmid is called as the phage-mid. Okay, so generally it is used for bacterial transformation. Okay, so anyways it is given in the syllabus, so you have to study about it. It is not used in plant biotechnology usually. So your paper is plant and animal biotechnology. Okay, so the size of the P blue script vector is 2958 base pair. Okay, 2958 base pair, and plasmid is called as the plasmid blue script. Why it is known as blue script? Because we are selecting the transformed cells by using a blue-white selection method. That is why it is called as a blue script. Fine. Now, it has an ampicillin resistant gene and two origin of replication, F1 origin of replication, that is a bacteriophage. F1 is a filamentous bacteriophage. So F1 origin of replication is there, and also it has bacterial origin of replication. Again, two origin of replications are there, so it's coming under shuttle vector. And it has two promoters. One is bacteriophage T3 promoter, another one is bacteriophage T7 promoter. Two promoter of bacteriophages, one is T3, another one is T7. In between that, there is a lac dash gene with the multiple cloning site. So multiple cloning site is the region where you will be putting the DNA, and these are the different resistant sites which are there in the multiple cloning site. KPN1, it's a resistant enzyme which is isolated from the bacteria. Klebsiella pneumonia. Have you heard of this bacteria, the causative organism of pneumonia? Klebsiella pneumonia. From that, this particular resistant enzyme is isolated. EcoR1 is Escherichia coli, and XBA1 is another resistant site which is there in the P blue script vector. XBA stands for Xanthomonas. XBA resistant enzyme is isolated from Xanthomonas badri. KPN, what is KPN? Klebsiella pneumoniae. KPN. XBA is from Xanthomonas badri. And the third one is SAC. SAC stands for Streptomyces acromogenes. Streptomyces acromogenes. SAC. Okay, so these are the four resistant sites which are there in the multiple cloning site. That is why, so resistant site starts from K, end with the resistant enzyme S, KS. That is why this vector is called as the P blue script 2KS. Okay, so KS stands for Klebsiella pneumonia, EcoR1, XBA1, and last one is S. First one is KPN, K, and last one is SAC1, which is isolated in Streptomyces acromogene. Clear? So this is the another vector which is given in the syllabus. So P blue script vector, it is used. It is a Fleischmann vector which was created in 1990. P BlueScript 2KS is a PUC based plasmid. The size of this particular plasmid is 2958 base pair, and it has a lac-dash gene, that is a selectable marker gene. One more selectable marker is there, that is ampicillin resistant gene. Multiple cloning site is bordered by T3 and T7 promoter, so that it can read in opposite direction on the two strand, and we can produce single stranded RNA copies. Okay, single stranded copies of RNA, single stranded copies of the cloned DNA can be produced by using T7 promoter and the T3 promoter. So when we use a T7 RNA polymerase, it binds to the T7 RNA polymerase and the transcription happens. When you use a T3 promoter, it binds here and it will do the transcription of the other strand. Thereby you can create DNA RNA copies of both the strand. So why we are using two promoter? Thereby we can create RNA copies of both the strand. Okay, that is why we are using these two promoter. So T7 and T3 promoters are used to read in opposite direction on the two strand to direct the in vitro transcription technique. Selection is usually it's a blue-white selection, and F1 origin of replication is there, that is from a filamentous phage, and a call-even origin of replication. Okay, F1 origin of replication, and in this case it is a bacterial origin of replication. Here you can see a call-even origin of replication, that is a very efficient origin of replication. So that's all about the vectors. Three vectors are given. Already we discussed about the BIN19 vector. Plasmid BIN19 is given in the syllabus. That is done already. The second one is P green because of the GFP protein, and the third one is known as the P BlueScript vector. Okay, so both vectors are named as green and blue because of the selectable markers which are there in that particular vector. Okay, please go through these two topics. It's a very simple topic. Please go through, and any doubts are there, you can clarify. Thank you.